carbon dioxide. Got him. Taking you to school, Jeremy.
Don,
Guys,
it sounds like
I
you're
think what
agreeing
we're
with us
talking-
and explaining yourselves terribly.
But I think what we're
Possibly.
talking about
I don't understand why Branch keeps saying you don't see Branch, my bad. Listen, if you want to say that you don't see it and there's other stuff going on, then I'm gonna have to like just back off and say I'm sorry. It sounded like you're saying that when the dry ice changes state, it's actually not going into a gaseous state. That's what it sounded like to me that you were saying.
It doesn't go to a liquid state. It goes directly from solid to gas.
To gas, but you're saying you're seeing other phenomenon. You're actually not seeing that gas itself.
Right, like the medium state would have been liquid. Because of the pressure that we live at.
I'm sorry. I thought you were trying to not, and the sublimation aside, I thought you were basically asserting it stays in a liquid and never gets to gas, a liquid or solid, whatever.
It's fine. Let me just reiterate. You can't see carbon dioxide gas.
Carbon dioxide can't exist.
Yeah, I thought you were kind of saying it doesn't exist or something, but okay, my bad. The gas doesn't exist. Gas, that's what I thought you were saying.
Let's see if we have liquid carbon dioxide. I doubt that we do, but let me see if we have liquid carbon dioxide.
You get the pressure right, you can absolutely have liquid carbon dioxide. But
it could be that the liquid state of carbon dioxide is so the temperature to maintain its liquid form is so narrow that it just can't stay in its liquid form.
Pressure is the hard part, right? Because at least where we live, you can't do it. You gotta be in a controlled place, and you gotta put it in a chamber.
You need 5 bars. It says 5 bars. 5 bars of pressure.
And like if you get a bottle of condensed carbon dioxide,
pushing down on you, pushing down on me.
Liquid inside, right? And that's because it's liquid. Because inside the bottle of carbon dioxide gas, the pressure is so high that it can exist as a liquid.
Came in hot, Don. But yeah, that's a common misconception. A lot of these so-called smart people didn't even realize that you weren't. They thought you could see water vapor, see the carbon dioxide, and they pointed to a cloud and say, "Look, we see the water vapor there." So you're good. Just know if anyone ever points to a cloud and goes, "Look, we can see water vapor. There it is in that cloud." Just know that they don't know what they're talking about.
Just know you need to be real pedantic and say, "No, you're not seeing water vapor. You're seeing condensed water vapor."
I mean, technically, you could say that.
That'll show them how smart you are.
Technically, you could say that fog with clouds forming at the surface of the planet.
Wait a second. Hey, how pedantic is that to say that condensed water vapor, which is a liquid, is a liquid? How pedantic is that, Snack?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking pedantic. You're right. That's why you shouldn't do it.
You're a cunt, Snack. You're
an old piece of shit who belongs in a nursing home.
Okay, hold on.
I can't wait for your family to lock you into a nursing home and never see you again because you're such an old, crotchety piece of shit who just needs to rot away alone staring at a fucking wall.
Which means fucking liquid. Condensed water.
I can't wait. They're not going to let you have the Discord when you go to the nursing home, Curved.
And of course,
they're not going to let you have a fucking Discord, man. They're going to restrict you from
when Curve goes to a nursing home, he would take his microphone and his tablet, and he will still be doing this shit. He will still be doing this shit from the nursing home.
Condensed vapor is not a vapor.
You will always lose because
it is water vapor that has condensed.
So it's
It's
not
not just water.
It's not a gas anymore. It's just
If
water.
it was just okay,
Water
I'm not
in liquid
saying
form.
I'm
When it
not saying
condenses,
that it's
it
a
becomes
gas.
It
I'm
becomes a
saying
liquid. When it's condensed, it is a liquid.
If you're going to be pedantic,
wrong with
why
you
not go
people?
all the way and be
Wrong
as
with you.
fucking
Have you ever
pedantic as possible?
never gone to the fucking
What
mountains?
is wrong with you? If you
Have you ever
condense,
Why
gone
not
to the
just go
mountains,
ahead and
Janet?
be as fucking
if
pedantic as
you
possible?
condense a gas,
Not
it is
as
now a
pedantic as
liquid.
possible. That's
Mountain.
redundant.
Have you ever gone to the mountains and you can actually feel the drops when your face goes through a cloud in the mountains? You can feel the drops on your face,
That's not gas. That is a liquid.
right? Because that's what a cloud is, right? The same way that when you see fog, right? Basically, fog is just a cloud that's down on Earth, on down to the floor. It's the same shit. It just meant that the pressures were right to have the formation of the same shit that makes up a cloud occur at fucking ground level. That's all that a foggy day is. So clouds at your fucking feet.
All right. Let's just carry on. What else we got?
It is. I mean, how can you tell me I'm fucking wrong about that?
Honestly, I was paying attention to the chat and didn't hear a lot of what you said, but
Water vapor, which is condensed, becomes a liquid. It's not a gas anymore. It's not a vapor anymore.
yes, you can't see water vapor or carbon dioxide. We know this. It's invisible. Everyone knows this. Now that I've made it clear to
what's
everyone
your
over
point,
the past
bro?
2 days.
Zanik, what's your point, man?
When you look at that white cloud or the fog or whatever you want, steam, when you look at that,
You are looking at liquid. You are looking
you're
at
not.
liquid.
Yes, thank you.
Honestly, Zanik, I think everybody's saying the same shit.
No,
I don't know
someone
why
said
everyone's getting mad at you.
water vapor has been condensed and it's still vapor.
No, I never
Well,
said it was still vapor, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Not you. I was Grant or
Yeah, no,
somebody.
Zanik's right. I mean, if you can see it, if you can see it at
You
all,
can't see vapor. You can't see
right?
gas.
If you can see it at all,
Clouds
then you're
form
looking
when
at
an
a
area of
raindrop.
air becomes cooler until the water vapor there condenses to liquid form. So, clouds are condensed water vapor.
Yep.
Yes,
it's a
and my
liquid.
glass of water
Right,
is
it's a
melted
liquid.
ice. It
In
just
liquid
sounds
form.
weird to specify it like that.
Well, it makes more sense because water vapor is already there.
I mean, again, clouds do contain water vapor. Don't get that wrong. They also contain droplets of water, which is what we're seeing.
Who are you arguing against right now?
Branch is just talking to hear himself talk.
Yeah, I love
Everyone's
hearing
just going
myself.
on about terminology.
And
That's
the
what's
entire
bad.
point I was trying to make earlier is this is really fucking stupid and useless. It's nothing more than trying to do a gotcha, which doesn't make you smart.
It wasn't a gotcha. We were talking about
Yes,
dry
it
ice
absolutely
and water
was a
vapor
gotcha
and
by the
clouds.
very definition. So I was talking to you yesterday about how earthquake shadows work on the flat Earth, and then you started talking about fucking clouds and water vapor because
And I
you have
told
no
you I never-
answer to the questions, to the actual pertinent questions about your belief on how the shape of the Earth
It sounds to me.
right?
I
You have
told
no
you-
actual answers or explanations. All
And I
you
told you I
have
never
is trying to do gotchas. I don't
And I
care if
told
you
you-
haven't looked into it. This seems like something you should look into. I've talked
And I
about it
told-
numerous times.
I told you I
It
never
sounds-
looked
it
into
sounds
earthquake
to me
shadows.
like Jeremy.
Well, if you do, you'll realize that it makes the Earth being flat completely impossible. It makes it
Okay, so-
completely impossible for the Earth to be flat. So all you gotta just go look into it, and then you'll be correct on the shape of the Earth. Good luck.
So I told you I didn't know about earthquake shadows. Let's talk about this carbon dioxide and this dry ice.
But
melting. So
what
we
does this have
started
to do with the
talking
shape
about-
of the
Why
Earth?
are you interrupting me? I let you go.
What does this have to do with the shape of the Earth?
It sounds
Nothing, it's
to
just
me
another
honestly
topic
like
to talk
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Gotcha.
Well, it's
Sounds to
Because
me
you
like
can't
Jeremy
explain
was
your model,
smart.
because you can't explain your
Sounds to me
model or
like
how
Jeremy
natural
outsmarted
phenomenon can
you,
possibly exist
and now you're
on your
crying, bro.
model. You have to deflect with gotchas. I'm not impressed. It's very boring, very lame
It
brain.
wasn't a gotcha.
It's actually
It
my
wasn't a
fault for
gotcha.
engaging. I shouldn't have even responded to it. I should have insisted that you discuss the actual shape of the earth instead of trying to do these stupid non sequiturs. So really, it's my fault.
Well, yeah, you want to talk about politics. Again, I personally think that Jeremy has outsmarted Smart, and we should either rename one of them, because obviously the smartest person in this room, or in comparison to the smartest person on the world, is now Jeremy. We should give him a change of name.
Yeah, he lost the title. That's all.
Yeah, I believe we can take a full picture of the Earth. I believe it. I believe we can get something out that far to take a full picture of the Earth. I believe that too. I just believe
But
it.
you don't believe we've already done it?
No, I believe we have. I mean, I don't know it, but I mean, I'm happy to believe it.
Smartest man on the earth.
I mean, same as you
changing your
guys,
name,
right?
please?
Same as you guys, right? You guys all, I mean,
Yeah, no, but
you guys
seriously,
haven't seen
like,
something
smartest
traverse
man on
out
the
that
earth
deep,
has-
right? I mean, you
is-
just believe it's been out there, right? Like, you guys don't actually think you know that it's been out there, right? Like, you just trust it, right? If you have to be honest with yourself. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. Definitely nothing wrong with that. It's an intelligent trust. It's an intelligent belief. Not
But you
dissing
can
that at all.
verify
I'm just saying, it's not just belief and trust. It's I can see the satellites.
Which one
No,
is
but-
it? Which one is it? Is it a trust or is it a belief? Is it a trust or belief? Which one?
He meant neither, I guess he said.
Well, it could just be
see a
fact.
satellite.
It could just be fact.
Okay, but don't trick yourself. Just because you see a satellite, remember that doesn't mean that we still have to trust that we've seen one traverse out far enough, like the whole ball, like go from the ground to the ball,
What's your
right?
point?
Like Himawari type thing. You don't know you're seeing. You don't know you're seeing Himawari distance away, do you? I mean,
Right, when you see the sun, did you have to see the sun formate and become the sun? When you see the moon, did you just have to see it fucking get all the little fucking rocks that when we were a fucking disc? And
I wanted to say that I knew it became it that way. Sure, I would want to
How the
have
fuck
seen
you can
it,
see
but
that shit
if
with
I
a
didn't
fucking
see it, Branch, I would just say I know, I believe it came about that way, or I trust it came about that way.
What does that mean?
But I
when you say
wouldn't
that?
ever say that I knew it or think that I
Why?
knew. You know what I mean? I would understand
not?
there's always that little
Why
piece. Because a best guess is should be respected as that. I mean, period. So,
What
don't
does
make
that
me
do
bring
for
up
you?
the
What does that
wiggling
do for
sperm
you?
tails. I mean, you know. That's right, but the sperm tails, you guys, are this year's evidence of why we need to respect the difference between trust, belief, and knowing. There's always a difference, and you need to respect it.
To what
But
end?
you can actually, like, see these satellites and directly verify them.
And you can actually see that sperms wiggled their tails to propel themselves. And now you don't think you were ever stupid. You guys don't feel stupid. You just jump along with the bandwagon and you go, oh, now they spiral like otters. You don't care that you were stupid for 50 years. You just don't care. And you hold on. And you think you knew it for 50 years. You would have run around saying, I know a sperm wiggles its tail. I don't believe or trust it. It's not a hypothesis. You would have run around acting like you fucking know it as a fact. That's
Have you seen your sperm swim? Have you ever seen your sperm swim?
Why is it a
Arrogance is a problem.
Why?
If you've never seen your sperm swim, how do you know it actually swims?
I agree. I gotta agree with Branch here. Gotta agree with him.
I want to know why
I
arrogance
can't
is
answer
a
you,
problem.
Branch. Arrogance. Why is arrogance a problem? Yeah. Okay. We'll let that one simmer for a little bit.
You seem to be very worked up about this whole idea.
You know how I'm acting right now? You guys don't like how I'm acting, right? I'm acting arrogant, right? Is it a problem or is it useful? What would
It's
you
not the
guys say?
arrogance. It's not the arrogance that bothers
I think
anybody.
it's useful, dude. It makes for good conversation.
No.
Who's that,
Appreciate
Mackie? What's up, Mackie?
Don, and it is typical.
No, it's
behavior.
better than like silence. It's good conversation, Wentworth. Don't let Kurt put you down like that. No, it's good conversation, man.
I mean, like I appreciate the analogies, but guys, like recognize your difference of what you think you know to what you believe, and be willing to be open on the things that aren't locked down. Like we don't even know if sperm are actually moving like otters right now. It's just the newest best guess.
Are you new
Newest
here,
best
Wentworth?
guess.
How are you sure
Sperm.
the original
yeah,
wrong?
pressed on. My bad.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not sure, obviously, but it's the new narrative now.
Well, you sure fucking sound like you're 100% sure, Mr. Cocky.
The scientists sound like they're sure curved.
No. It's your behavior with this. What you're doing
You're
with
right.
this.
Look, you got me. You got me.
Yeah, of course.
You're right. I mean, your
See-
points. You're right. You're right. I'm being a little bit double standard with the. You got me, Curve. You're right. But it is for example purposes. But again, you're right. I could be exaggerating the example. You're right. But we all know. Look, the true rational people. We know that the scientists acknowledge their best guess, and they respect that. But the people here in Discord sometimes disrespect it, and that's why I like to bring it to light. But we know true scientists don't overestimate their findings. We know that true scientists keep their conclusions respected for what they are.
Do you know any?
You guys.
No, do
Me.
you know true scientists? Because true scientists say
Personally,
they know things all the time.
yeah, but they would respect the conclusion. They respect what it is. They
and the
know
fun thing
a
is dumb
correlation. They
because-
know. Look, scientists will tell you they know a cause and effect. They know a consistent, repeatable event. That's what scientists know. Scientists will tell you they know consistent, repeatable events. So I don't think you're going to find a scientist that tells you he knows you could put a camera on a rocket and then watch that camera go up so high that it goes from showing you the ground to a quarter of the earth to half the earth to the whole earth. No scientist is going to say that that's repeatable so far. He'd say probably.
That's just wrong.
He'll say it's probably, it's likely, I believe it.
No,
But he's
no,
not
he
going to
wouldn't.
tell you he knows it.
Of course they do. They do all the time.
Nah, they don't. They wouldn't tell you that. They're
but they
turning a
don't.
phrase with you. They're turning a
You
phrase
say
with
what
you,
they
man.
wouldn't, but they
They're
do.
turning a
They
phrase.
already
A
do.
true scientist ain't going to know that. Not till they
Yes,
see
they
it
will.
for themselves. So if you want to run around respecting fake scientists, that's cool. You guys know fake, so I know real ones. I know real ones that wouldn't do that.
It's just wrong.
So that's cool.
Some
That's
other
cool.
people may
wrong.
disagree with the terminology here, but in my opinion, the shape of the earth is outside the realm of science now. It's observation. It's not we don't have absolute proof anymore.
I'm with you. Exactly.
We've seen it.
And I'm
We
not
can
talking
measure
about
it.
the shape
It's
of the earth. Think
absolutely
about
a sphere.
exactly what I talked about. A repeatable event. Putting a camera on a rocket, sending it up altitude until you see from
There have
ground to
been-
Universal Studios.
There have been
I'm just
17
saying.
GOES satellites.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
been, so
There's
it's
been
been done
17
17
GOES
times
satellites.
by the U.S. specifically for weather satellites.
Okay.
Not counting all the others.
Oh, does one of them have footage of like the Universal Studios from a horizon to a ball? Does any one of them actually have that? Because like you could end the flat Earth right now with that footage.
Nobody else thinks they need that in order to claim they know something. That's not what they mean
You're
by
right.
knowing.
That's what the problem is.
It's not a problem to anybody but you,
problem.
though.
It
It's not
is.
a problem to anybody
It is.
but
No,
you.
no, Scott. Scott, you're wrong, man. You're wrong.
Why am I
I
wrong?
just got to disagree with you there.
How is it a problem for anybody but you?
Because I know
Don,
other people that have problems.
have you had your coffee yet?
Like, what do you mean,
Have
Scott?
you
Like,
taken your
you
meds
want to
with
call me
your
a liar?
coffee?
I guess. Like,
I want to know
So-
who the people are have a problem with.
look, man. A
Rocket,
rocket.
don't go there, Rocket.
A rocket. Like, why you want to do personal stuff, dude?
Don, if you want it, you can be arrogant as all you want, but have the intelligence to back it up.
I'm backing
Right.
up
Rocket
all
that
this
area.
philosophy. I'm gonna
So
back
go
it
ahead
up
and
right now.
try.
Ain't no scientist gonna tell you until they see it. Ain't no scientist gonna bet it's a guaranteed, repeatable event. And you guys, whoever just said 17 GOES satellites, Why don't you show this and show me the footage of? Show me one time.
Doesn't have it to
Because
back
I've
it
not
up.
seen Universal Studios one time. Hey, Lemon. Hey, Lemon.
Hold on.
What is this Universal Studios thing we're talking
Is it a
about?
problem for you?
No. I want to ask you how much effort have you actually put in actually seeing it? Have you got to a fucking telescope? Have you actually tried to see a satellite?
Yeah, there's things up
Are
there.
you just assuming,
with the rocket
or are
going
you
out
just
towards the
assuming?
football. You're being dumb here, buddy.
Have you at least
You're being dumb,
once
man. I'm
tried
talking about
to
one specific type of phenomenon that all you guys believe. You want to argue with flat earthers about
you keep talking
gas
about
pressure without a container, gas pressure with a gravity can hold gas in, but you don't get the point is.
Holy shit, Don, what the fucking called up your ass and died?
Special fucking zone and phenomenon out there. You ain't done it, but you all just
if you're gonna make all these claims, can you
here's low Earth orbit. Here's low Earth orbit footage. Here's low Earth orbit footage. Here's some more low Earth orbit footage. Where's the rest of the footage, guys? Mr. 17 Ghost Satellite.
Stop, Blessed. I'm never gonna get in here, am I? Don, there have been several. There is actually something that's been put in the chat many a times, where it's from launch to orbit. To a portion of orbit.
Not good enough. We're not asking for that.
Uninterrupted video.
We're not asking for that to orbit. Pay attention. Fuck your orbit.
That's exactly what he's asking.
It went up to where you saw the curvature.
Universal Studios. Tesla.
Don,
Car
you better
Man.
take a double dose of your meds today because you're really on edge now.
Apollo and you got Tesla car. That's all you fucking got.
More ad
Guess
hoc
what?
rockets.
Apollo didn't show it from the ground.
Oh my god, Don, shut up.
Hold on.
But he's acting like he deserves it. Don, you're just rambling like an idiot right now.
Guess what Tesla car did, guys? Guess what Tesla car did? Boop! It popped out in the middle of the screen from
stop
the
rambling like a fucking moron.
Oh, okay. Because you're scared of the truth. You don't want to hear it.
No, you're just a psycho.
You're scared of the truth, but they think they got
What
to
are we
know.
scared of?
Oh my god, stop being a fucking psycho.
You don't
Don,
know
take
shit,
a breath.
And you're mad because I'm man enough to say
Honestly, guys, the best thing to do is let him talk himself out. Let him talk himself out, and then somebody else can talk.
Don got
He won't
muted.
talk himself out.
He will. Look, he's done.
He got muted.
Oh.
Server muted.
Well, I don't like that, but
So, of course, no one likes to server mute people, but we also don't like it when they won't shut the fuck up.
I wonder who did
you
it.
just let them talk themselves out, man. Like he would have shut up in about 20 seconds if nobody.
Chemo's here, maybe.
Oh,
which is fine.
I am not taking the under on that.
Oh, he's
I think he can go for. I think he can go for a solid hour.
Now we're talking
No,
about
with Don's
him,
like
which is
this, he'll go
absolute
off
shit.
for a while. Like this is just
Yeah, you know what's really fucked up is when somebody gets server muted, and then the people in the chat room talk about them. So let's just talk about something.
Yeah, we do that to you, Branch. We do that to you all the time.
Fuck yeah, that's why I know it's
probably
fucking
does.
annoying as fuck.
Right,
You know, usually when I get server muted, it's because I'm interrupting conversation.
You realize how difficult it is to get muted on Jem's server.
Oh, you're talking to Branch, bro.
I like how they say attack the idea, but not the person. But what they're being a complete fucking psychotic person.
Yeah, but dude, don't all because he's fucking muted doesn't mean it's a free for all to talk shit about him behind his back. Or not behind his back while he's fucking muted. That's bullshit.
No, I said it to his face. He's being psychotic.
Branch, most of us have said this, just something like this to Don already, so it's not like we're talking behind his back.
No, y'all all right. That's fine. That's right. But, you know, my man who said psychotic, you missed the point a little bit. He wasn't talking about you talking behind my back. He was talking about you talking behind my back. He was talking about me not having a chance to respond. And this is yet just another example of how the indoctrinated don't get the point.
And you know we're indoctrinated how?
Mackie, you're right too, though. I could go for an hour, but Branch was a little bit right. I mean, I'd burn out in 20-second bursts, but you're right. I could keep it up for a while. I ain't trying to.
But it seems to me you're defining indoctrinated as in not believing the same thing you believe. Do you have any other criteria?
Over believing.
Scott, yes, indoctrinated. But who determines what's over-believing?
Okay, you're right. That's a fair question. I would say it should be like a council type of thing, man. And the self, like that's why I'm appealing to you guys and sharing it, because you should determine it yourself. I want you guys to act like a fair scientist and be like, hey, if I really trust and it's our best guess, or we need to understand our limits of what we actually know, don't overassert what you say you know. I mean, you guys,
we say we're not. Okay. We say we're not overasserting. You say we are. How do we know the difference? How do we know who's right?
I have a question for Don.
Well, it's personal account, and but the topic right now is, do we know, right, that a thing, do you personally know, without trusting other, like, have you seen it for yourself, a thing travel high enough to show you the full ball in one continuous forget if the tech is even possible to get out there, if space is real, any of that. Do you believe that we've had like footage of it? Like, we haven't had footage of it.
Yes, we do. And
okay,
yes,
can I see it so I can get on?
Yes, I've had access to full data. I can say that.
Yes, and Rocky can. I can't. But I would also say that the definition of knowledge, and for me to personally know, does not require for me to personally see it. Nobody holds that standard. Nobody.
Scott, you win me on this all the time. The way you hold your personal philosophies is very consistent and righteous. It gets like semantical to the point, because I have to agree with everything you say. Like, it comes to a point where you believe stuff enough and you trust it. You should just say you know it for whatever efficient. Like, you've sold me on it, okay? You have sold me on it. And that's kind of why I opened with, hey, I believe we've done it, and yeah, you're right. That's where I chose to make a deviation and say, hey, but I don't know it. But yeah, it's weird. It's like, even if I was to decide that I know it's, I have to still humble myself, be like, oh, I shouldn't overassert, and I recognize that there's this small part of doubt that still is going to exist in me. And yeah, you're right, man. Help me reconcile it.
You don't need to know everything, just enough to act.
Don, can you explain to me how the indoctrination process works? Because here's what I recall. Here's what I call.
I was asking you a question, actually, Rocket. Okay, go ahead. What do you recall?
Fucking the moderator now, Branch? Be quiet.
No, I was trying to ask you a fucking question, but every time I said, "Hey, Rocket," we overtalked each other.
Okay, sorry about that. Can I finish my question to Don?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Already heard.
So here's, you call it indoctrination, I call it education. So in undergrad, the professors pointed out the information is in the books, and they gave us the lectures, and we had to go learn it further for ourselves. And I could go to the library and check any other textbook that's in there. I've also gone to 2 other university libraries and looked at books that are there as well. So I have full access to whatever information I want to verify what I've been presented is correct. Then when you move on to grad school, then there's no professor teaching you anything. You have to figure out all of it yourself, which is what basically is what research is all about. So can you explain to me how I've been indoctrinated?
Well, have you seen the Apollo footage and the Tesla car footage, right? And that stuff seems to go to an area that's beyond, or possibly, Rocket, possibly beyond where our thousands of satellites are. They go farther than that, right? I mean, we would agree. They've went off into space.
There's no satellites around the moon at the time. So yes, that point, for whatever it's worth, right, you can have.
And yeah, and supposedly there's other, I understand that there's other non-video camera things that also supposedly went out there, like probes and to Saturn, or probes to the, Patrick to the moon, or whatever it is, or to the sun. But I do understand, but as far as video footage, right, we understand there's really a limited amount of video footage, and I'm kind of just, that's the realm of indoctrination I'd like to taste. Obviously, I can't accuse you of it, 100%, but some of the reactions in this chat made me say, oh, you're like, but personally, you guys, in general, that's the realm where most of us, right, we've just seen a little bit of footage, and we think that it's possible. Okay, so
no,
if
you're wrong about that,
it was a conspiracy,
you're
it
wrong
would be
about
indoctrination.
that.
Okay, well, Rocket, I'm glad you've seen.
I don't care about the
abundant footage, buddy.
I don't give a crap about the video footage. I don't care about that. As an engineer, that's one of the last things I actually look at.
Rocket
I look at
has
the
his own
telemetry
video.
data. I look at the mission reports.
But that's that. You have your
I
own
look at the
video that shows
scientific
not just the same
worth
thing.
of the material that was brought back by the moon from the that has been investigated all over the world. I don't know what I'm talking about is the moon rocks that have been distributed. That's what I look at. So if you don't like that, that a picture looks funny, then you know what? Have it. Enjoy it.
But see what you're doing. You're talking about video footage, and you feel like you have to defend the entire moon landing indoctrination with stuff that could have come from Antarctica, man. It just doesn't make any sense.
Rocket has access to, if you want, enough data to make seeing the Tesla or the fucking any other launch not even a question anymore, because he can show you from start to finish a launch.
Yeah, he says that.
I guess the question I had to you, Rocket, is like, in your office, do you guys talk about this room and flat Earth and stuff like that?
Well, okay. It actually came out to my group that yes, I come into this chat server, and they were dead. They were dead quiet. I didn't say anything, mainly because it's my department. And I said, guys, go ahead, say whatever you like. And and then it's just like, do you like? They were actually shocked that I come in here.
No, actually, like what I was wondering was like, no, not your team, because obviously that's your team, right? Like, you know, people above you and stuff like that. Like, are they aware of this shit? And like, is it possible to actually show this? You know, if they were aware of it, right? Then would it be more, I guess, open to this footage that you're talking about actually being released? Or is it,
first of all, I don't have
footage that just cannot be released?
I don't have access to special Apollo footage or anything, or SpaceX.
No, just the footage of a satellite from launch.
Don't say he has footage. He has data. He has data.
Well, he said he had footage of a recording of a satellite that was launched and went into orbit.
Oh,
Ranch,
that's not good enough.
I don't. So the launches that I've worked on, we don't bother with that because we don't. We're not worried about it. There's videos on YouTube. You want to go look, you can find it. But the reality is, engineers and scientists, video and pictures are one of the last things we look at. Everything else that we look at.
My bad. I was just trying to figure out what it would take to get that shit released. My bad, dude. I thought you had it.
I do not have a vault of secret information. I can't show you the data that I work on because that's proprietary, and you know I have confidentiality things that I have to adhere to. But
yeah, and that's why it has to go to your superiors and shit like that.
Publicly available satellite tracking information, satellite video feeds. I mean, Dr. Satellite, Mr. Satellite, whatever he's calling himself, he actually pulled down an image from a satellite using an antenna that he built.
Yeah,
there's plenty of amateur ham radio operators and engineers
all over the world that
communicate with satellites, and they're not even in the industry.
It's not just that. I mean, look at your fucking direct TV. Where the fuck do you think that's aiming at?
Well, actually, that's a good point. I've said multiple times, all the antennas are pointed in one direction. It should be very easy to point a telescope in that direction and show me what this balloon is that's supposed to be sending that signal. The flat earthers.
You would actually see it. You probably won't see it unless the.
You'd have to.
Well, you'd see whatever was there, right?
Like, okay, I live in Dallas, dude. There's a really good chance that in Dallas I'm not going to see it.
I have way too much here. This stationary aiming of satellites to a stationary point, it definitely, in my opinion, it definitely puts the Occam's razor more towards the way of an orbit being very stable. Whereas if it was just floating in a balloon up there in winds, it would be, you know, blowing around a lot, and them satellite dishes wouldn't be able to stay locked on. I think, I mean, that's one orbit type defense right there.
I kind of want to know a little bit more about rockets. I'm sorry, guys. This is just my personal thing, right? Rocket, when your team found out that you're in this room, right? Obviously, you act in this room a very different way than I do, right? So for one of my team, if I was in the team, it'd be a very different story. But how did they take it? Like, how come none of them joined the room?
One, they have better things to do, and how do they take it? I'm still getting laughed at and jokes made about it.
Okay.
Yeah, Branch said, where your hood at?
Yeah, the reason why I'm so protective over fucking what I do and shit is because I don't act like Rocket. If I acted like Rocket, I probably wouldn't mind, but I act a fucking fool in this place.
Brent,
Where's your people?
Brent's like my team. I mean, if I had a team.
Did you tell your people you guys needed help defending the globe or what?
No, I mean, I've had teams this year. I just don't have a team right now, right?
Oh, I got you.
And I mean, it's not to say I'm going to not have a team in the future, right? I mean, I'm into management and shit. So, but I also, I was just wondering how Rocket's team took it because
one is disbelief, and now it's just mockery. And my management team, I tell them about it. They're like, basically, they just like, you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, I think pretty much that's exactly what I would expect, but it's a little bit fucking embarrassing, right?
I was a little embarrassed when it came out, but then it's like, all right, well, here's what I do.
You have friends,
and then I realized, wait, guys, let me explain something to you. I am not a flat earther. Okay, let's make that clear before you guys kill me.
No, you do a lot, man. Like you're righteous in here. You provide a lot of and there's even though there's a lot of kindergarten stuff going on in here a lot, man. There's plenty of scientific discussion, man, going on up in here. I mean,
there's stuff that I've learned from listening to discussions in here because it's areas
Rocket uses this as an outlet for true knowledge. I use this shit.
I've learned a butt ton from you, man. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's valued for you being in here. It's a good thing for everybody, for a lot of people.
I think the flat earthers do the most teaching in here out of everyone, though.
I'll be honest with you, man. If this shit even leaked out to
anybody, man,
I would be embarrassed. Like, I would be just embarrassed, dude. Like, this is not if you guys met me in real life, you would be like, what the fuck?
That is an ingredient, a psychopath ingredient to even entertaining flat earth. You have to be able to
No, I'm not psychopathic. I have other issues.
Yeah, and you're not a flat earther either, right, Branch? You've never thought it was viable at all, right? Yeah, you gotta be a little bit of like,
dude, when I wake up, the earth looks flat.
You wake up.
I mean,
It's gotta be when I wake up.
Well, let's face it, it's because of flat Earth that we even have learned as much as we've learned in these past few months or years.
Jeremy, no, it's not, dude.
It is. It really is.
Because of
Jeremy always finds like, hey man, look, Jeremy is half cup full of bullshit.
Jeremy, what have you taught people?
No, I mean, Jeremy, you see the cup.
Stupid.
Don't see the cup half full of bullshit or half empty. You just see it as half a cup of bullshit. Oh my god! Now again, I have really bad ways of words sometimes.
I can tell you something Jeremy taught me. Point blank, Jeremy taught me that you and Negator are jerks.
Me?
Wait,
who's you?
You're a jerk.
Me?
Yeah,
no, who's you?
Because even to answer Jeremy, no, the other guy. Yeah, this is Rocky. No, I don't live on a boat. See, you're wrong again. I don't live on a boat.
Yeah,
I live in a house.
Wait. Jeremy, who's a jerk?
I know you don't care if you're wrong or not.
Rakia, who's a jerk? Because I know M Stone's a jerk.
Whoever was just talking, being wrong about me living on a boat, and Negator. Negator is pretty much a jerk. Like when Jeremy says something, he has to comment. Anyone with any intelligence would know not to comment.
I mean, I took the title. I don't know if you guys are reading my name, but I know I didn't make my acceptance speech for the title yet, but it's
What are
coming.
you talking about? Your acceptance speech is what? What the fuck
Rocky,
are
are you sure you're mixing Negator with somebody else? Because Negator's not even here.
Okay, what is
Yeah, I meant Rocket
with
Science.
Dr. M.
You
Stone?
and Negator
that's fine.
sound similar, like that monotone.
monotone?
Whatever that.
Rocket
Okay.
has a heavy accent. I don't know how you would confuse him with Negator.
Look, M. Stone is actually a legend.
I have a heavy
In the
accent.
fucking
Okay.
in the Flat Earth community, M. Stone's a legend. He's known in the community better than almost 90% of this room. So you got to understand who the fuck you're talking to.
All hail M. Stone. All hail.
Yeah, I'm known in the F
Fucking legend, bro.
Give me some clout.
We only heard him drunk on Oakley's one time. That was it.
Hey man, I show.
And by the way, Rocky, I didn't say anything about you living on a boat. So whoever said it,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
That
other
was
guy.
me. I'm mistaken. You work on a boat, right?
Oh my god, right here, you live. I would love to
No,
fucking live on a boat.
wrong again. I don't work on a boat.
Whatever it is.
Back here, dude. There's nothing. I would actually love to live on a fucking boat, dude. I would.
Yeah,
start-
I would too.
There
I
is
would
a-
love to live on a boat.
There's a luxury liner where all it does is cruise the world, and these people live on the boat. I mean,
Yeah, I know. That's cool.
there's nothing wrong really with living on a boat.
Dude, you find a hard ass wife and just live
It
on a
wasn't
boat with
really
her, man.
meant as a fucking insult, man. My God.
I would love to live on a boat. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be cheaper.
Can you imagine,
Cheaper
dude?
than
It'll be
rent.
like a vacation. It's like a 24/7 vacation, bro. Forever. If you have the money to do that. And when you
I
don't
mean,
have
we've
money, all you gotta do is take someone on a day trip, couple of grand right there. You got money back in the bank.
Do you understand people get like this feeling that they don't have purpose when they just go on these long extended vacations for decades? You understand how purpose could like maybe change you?
I mean, I get that. I
You go,
get
"Hey,
that,
I'm just
dude.
on a
But I've been
vacation
out
doing
of
fuck all
work
for
for a
like a
while too,
decade."
dude. I know, but I don't know, man. I've been out of work for a bit, and I don't really miss it. I do actually miss it. I miss doing the work. I just don't miss going to work. If that makes sense. Like I enjoy the work I do. I just don't like being in an office.
All right, can we talk about whoever said purpose? Can we talk about social programs?
Wait, because I
Yeah.
said purpose, you want to talk about social programs?
It inspired
No, I
me.
mean,
It inspired me. I don't want to challenge you or anything.
Why are we gonna change? Why are we gonna change the subject? Me
I
and
like your
Stone.
point. Purpose
me
is a
and
big
Stone- me and
desire
Stone
in
having a
many people's
conversation.
life. It's like one of the number one
I'm sorry,
desires.
dude. No, hold on a second. Hold up. Me and Stone were having a conversation. Why do you have to change it? Like, what gives you the right to just step in and be like, all right, guys.
I'm
let's
trying to
talk about-
elaborate on it. I'm not trying to change it, man. But go ahead, Branch. I'll back off.
No, I think me and Stone are pretty much done, but you should have asked permission first.
I did, Branch. I did. I said, hey, can we talk about this? That's what I said. But okay. Yes, I agree with. I want to like. Let's kick some thoughts on purpose, man. Like, what do you think that it's depression that makes people search out the purpose, or do you think it's like a natural primal instinct, or what do you think about that?
I
think it's
people
age, bro.
definitely
I think
feel
it's
like
just
they
something
need
that
to have a
happens with age,
purpose in
dude.
life.
Yeah,
I
I know we do feel it a lot. Just is healthy desire. What you think, Branch?
As somebody
Honestly,
that's
dude,
had
I think
an
that
extended
once you hit like a midlife fucking age, you do start questioning whether going to work 24/7 is the right thing to do, and especially if you don't have fucking kids and shit.
Especially if
may
you
just
don't
say
have
fuck
to
it.
work. If you don't
Right.
have to work and you take this vacation, you'll eventually feel like you don't have a purpose.
Right, and you actually start missing work. You miss it, right?
Yeah.
You miss having
You don't
just
have a
miss
purpose.
doing something.
Yeah, I hate it, dude. I
You end
hustle
up
for money.
fucking-
I hustle for money and I get this
No, it's
money
not
so
so
I
much
can eat
about
and
the
pay
money,
bills.
dude.
And
It's more about.
I don't like what I do sometimes. I want to like work
I mean, I think
like with my
I think
hands
that's a
and shit.
good thing though, right? Because look, when you go back to work after you thirst for it, I think then you're gonna have more appreciation for the work.
Yeah. Well, the conquerors want the scientists building the satellites and all that. So, you know, it's like, do you want to be a conqueror or a scientist or just a helper? You know what I mean? Like, and I respect farmers first, because they're gonna have to stand up for their land regardless. Like, they might not be a professional security person, but they know damn well like the land is the most important. And then the doctors, y'all are the heroes, you know what I'm saying, that save us all, you know? And all that shit in between, man, it's hard to find a purpose in it. Like when I do artistic stuff or entertainment type stuff, it's hard to feel satisfied with it. It really is. Even if you're making people happy.
Hey, Don,
it's
you know,
very
like a push bike,
okay.
How would you explain how it works? I didn't believe in them.
We couldn't convince you
I
that a
don't-
push bike exists.
What is a push bike?
Pedal.
Like, without
it's
the
a
engine.
new British term for pedal bike.
Okay.
Oh, pedal
It's like
bike.
a bike without pedals. You just
Pedal
you
bike
just,
then, yeah.
Usually,
So pedal bike,
you-
how do you
Appreciate
how do they work?
Yeah, I'll piggyback chemo. I would definitely just, you know, I would use the best technology we have, like the best convincing stuff, like eyewitness, video. Let's just go with video.
First of all, just
Video
explain. No, hold on. Just explain it to me how it works.
Oh, okay.
No, he makes a good point, dude. I mean,
Hold
the way
on,
I explained
Branch.
to
I
you,
want him
I'll
to
get you
actually. I
there.
want him to explain.
Now put you on one.
Explain
Put you
how
on
a
one.
pedal bike, push bike works. How do they
I'll
work?
show you where to get on one, and that way you can see for yourself.
Yeah, but let Don explain if he can.
Well, there's this cool thing, man. First, I'd try to figure out terms you're familiar with. Are you familiar with a seat? Are you familiar with wheels?
Yep.
And then I would explain there's, you know, a wheel attached with a frame, and you could sit on it with a seat. And then there's the pedal device, which has that you rest your feet on, and then it has bars connecting to the axle point, and then the axle point has a chain, a gear right there with on the axle with a chain around it. Go into another gear, and the difference in the size of the gears lets you leverage the force at different ratios, and therefore you can push on the pedal, turn the wheel,
This is how I ride the
right,
bike now,
and
yeah?
the chain will turn the other wheel, and eventually, with enough force, though, you'll be going fast enough that you won't fall over because you're continuously propelling yourself straight.
How do you know all of this, Don?
Eyewitness, first-hand
Yeah, I
account.
think what's more important though, Chemo, is why does his push bike have pedals?
I think it's more comfortable for the feet. You don't have to have pedals, right?
A push bike doesn't have pedals.
You don't have to have pedals. You can just have the bar without the pedals.
Right, it's a push bike. I think what
Well,
Don
that's to the
just tried to
Probably
yeah,
better
Don,
for the
you gotta
feet.
listen. You gotta listen to the question, Don.
No, actually, a
Probably
push
Right,
bike
but
is
Don,
a
let's
pedal
say
bicycle.
let's say I
It's a
didn't
real
believe you. I was like, you're lying. There's just no way what you've just said is true. How would you? What more would you do now to show me that it's?
You're talking about those bikes with the special shoes you gotta wear that lock into the wheel like the competitive cyclists use,
No,
or
that's still a
what?
pedal bike.
They've got stabilizers on them. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
I thought a
No, but I
push
like your
bike has
point,
no wheel.
I like your point, man. I'd want
Push
footage
bike
of it.
has
I'd
no
want to
wheel.
show you footage of it. I'd repeat it over and over. I'd show you dozens of footage of it happening hundreds of times.
Push
And they
bike
show me
is
the
like a big
centrifugal
scooter
force
with a
that's
seat.
keeping you balanced.
You'd even show me you
Can you
riding
show
the
that
bike,
to me?
right?
Yeah.
That's not a stretch, not a big claim here. But when you ask someone about a rocket now, and you're about to explain in the same way, and then, you know, we get to the next step, well then how do you know that the rockets work and all that? And then you're going to fall short, right? You're not going to be able to explain the same way how, like, the rocket and the bike. See?
It's okay. We don't need that kind of explanation.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's my point. So if we can agree that the bike is doable. It's not that big of a deal. But the rocket need a bit more than just your explanation, right, Don?
I don't know. It's been shown to you 100 ways to Sunday that it works in a vacuum. It's shown to you that it flies, that it pushes off with an equal and opposite reaction. These are all things that have been demonstrated to you, and you just ignore.
The only problem is they're supposed to work in a vacuum where there's nothing to work off of. So philosophically,
That's been shown to you as well.
a very big
Why is that the only problem?
Well, basically the rocket would work if there's an ether up there, something to work off of. But if there's nothing up there, like the atoms say with the vacuum, that's philosophically untenable.
Lemon, are you under the impression that mass expulsion isn't enough to propel a rocket?
Hell no! It needs to have something to work off of, a medium.
No, it just needs to throw mass at great rates away from itself.
So Lemon, let me ask you a question.
Talk about an equal and opposite reaction. There's nothing in the vacuum to react against, so that destroys your theory philosophically right there.
It doesn't react off the atmosphere. You can tell that because in the atmosphere,
and if
the higher the pressure, the worse the rocket works.
Because I think what's happening is it's true that rockets work, but the philosophy that explains why they work is unintelligible because it's holding to a vacuum where there's nothing for the rocket to work off of. That's not going to work.
It just works off of the fact that
rockets. The majority of a rocket's thrust has nothing to do with it pushing off of a medium.
Yes, it does. It has everything to push off
the fact that it's unintelligible to you does not mean it's unintelligible to us. Sorry, it's so hard for you to understand.
The bike.
We feel for you.
The bike.
But we understand it perfectly fine.
Obviously, you don't.
A rocket that you launch at the top of a mountain will probably go a bit higher than one that's launched at sea level.
Now, obviously, you have no idea what you're talking
logical about. People were just trying to get the logic of this. You know, people also discover truth by logic.
The atmosphere isn't fighting it. It'll actually have a higher exhaust velocity as you go up a mountain, I guess.
Well, it would be an illogical truth then, because logically, to have an equal and opposite reaction for rocketry, you need to have something to react. No medium, nothing to react, nothing to hold the rocket, nothing to go through. That's a problem.
The mass react. I'll let the rocket scientist talk. I'm sorry.
I will give you this. You're partially correct.
No.
There are two terms in the thrust equation of a rocket. There's the exhaust velocity times the mass flow rate, which is the part that everybody says is the exchange momentum and the mass ejection. What you're talking about is the area of the exhaust times the differential pressure. That's the term which would represent pushing off the atmosphere. But that term is significantly smaller than the other term. And you cannot...
Isn't it the opposite, though?
Sorry?
Isn't it the opposite, though? I mean, as it pushes off, velocity it drops.
Oh, yeah, Moyak, tell a rocket scientist how a rocket works. Carry on, Moyak.
Depending on the condition, but most times it does add a tiny little bit. If the pressure is the wrong way, it could be detrimental.
It's not even calculable.
Actually, it is calculable. I've done it for the SpaceX Falcon launch.
Is it really going to make a difference? Is it something that is actually taken into consideration?
Well, this stuff works. I mean, the flat earthers are saying that.
Let me finish.
Oh yes.
If I've done this, I worked it out. I basically only took the pressure part to see how much, if you can launch a rocket with that, and I can show you the math, but you can't. There's not enough thrust available, only from that term. To get a rocket, forget even to that, it won't even get close to the altitude at the first stage. It doesn't work, Lemon. Now you admit you've seen rocket launches. You know that, you know what happens. The physics of what you're asserting is not correct. There is something else that has to work.
What you were saying was
to work, but the thing is, based off of the consistent philosophy, there must be a medium up there. Either that, or they're not going where they say they're going. You know, at best, the rockets are curving to avoid the firmament or whatever, and petering out, or in some sort of etheric medium by the
rockets are curving because a rocket starts vertical and it has to go horizontal before it can launch its payload.
The shortest distance to
going over a flat plane.
Why would you go around?
Are you assuming?
No. Why wouldn't you just go straight
just trying
up?
to get there, Chemo.
What?
We're not simply trying to get to a certain
merge
altitude.
onto a highway, do you come flying at it straight on at a 90 degrees to it, and then go flying
Yeah,
as fast as you
we
can,
saw
and
that.
somehow
Yeah,
trying to
you
make
do.
a hard right turn to turn onto it?
We saw
No,
the
you
Go
have to pop
rocket.
a and gently curve.
The Go rocket went
No,
straight up, and it hit the Dome rocket scientist. That's why you don't
That
go
was
straight
not an
up.
orbital rocket, Chemo.
So if you look at the Go fast, that explains why you don't go straight
That was
up.
not an orbital rocket.
As I think Slacker is saying, he's correct. Yeah, that did not go into orbit, so to speak. That went into a high altitude. Yes.
Funny as escape, even with orbit, takes the same amount of fuel, if not more.
It went straight
talking
up
about
into
escaping.
space and it stopped, rocket scientist. How do you explain that?
No, that's
No?
not what happened. The Go Fast went up and it came back down. It was not an altitude. It did not go into orbit.
Why did it
And it
stop?
did not
Yeah,
keep
but
go
I'm
even
asking
high
why
enough
did
to
it?
even
Why did it?
constitute.
I'm asking why did it stop? What stopped it?
What do you mean? What stopped it?
Yeah, why did it stop?
Moment.
Any action, any motion, it will stay in motion until another force acts on it. So it was
It
going
slowed
up.
down.
Slowed it down.
They did say slowed slowly. It jerked, stopped. The spinning stopped at a jerk.
How would that stop it?
That didn't stop any upward motion.
Yeah, how does it
Chemo
stop if
thinks
it's
that
going
since
up?
the
How do
thrust
you
cut
brake?
off and it was high, it shouldn't come back down because there's no atmosphere.
You
Chemo's
would
trying to
need,
get another
uh,
conversation about gravity because he wants to say it's not a force. Just the same old Chemo.
We just need a better philosophy because the philosophy that we have stops the mind and keeps it from having systematic exploration. Space needs to be an ether, number one. And number two, these rockets are curving like they're avoiding hitting some sort of firmamental barrier. We don't feel movement of the Earth to justify their cosmology.
Firmamental? Let me ask you this: when you look at those rocket launches, they've had several now that they show further down range, and that area where you see like it's going down. When you go further down range, it's not going down; it's still going up. So, or more horizontal. But what's the deal? Why does that happen? You thought it was going down, but it's not.
Perspective
but
is a hell of a
going down
drug.
is completely faulty, isn't it?
Well, perspective is also a
Honestly,
hell of a
dude,
drug.
honestly, this conversation, as it's occurring right now, is very hard to follow, and this just sounds like crap.
Okay, shut up. We don't need
Well, you're gonna need to strain your mind, Branch, and exercise it enough to be
that's really
strong
what's
enough to
happening,
carry
like,
on an intelligible,
everyone's
non-drug
throwing in-
addled, non-vapid,
I'm sorry.
shallow conversation. It's a
What's
good
happening is
exercise
this.
for you. So just sit
Lemon.
back and yeah.
Lemon, let me finish, please. What's happening is this: everybody's throwing their 2 cents in. There's no coherent direction to the actual conversation. It's just a whole bunch of information just being thrown out there. Nobody's taking in the information that gets given and then responding to it. Instead, it's just everybody trying to get their own thought out.
Okay, well then go ahead and put some naked
alcoholism
chick
talking.
out in the chat.
This isn't a
Why don't you distract
conversation.
us with
This is not a
pointless sexuality or
conversation.
something, some other shallow bit of tit or something like that?
Right, I'm just saying, this isn't a conversation. It's just people throwing out thoughts. So
Then
why don't
put
we
out
just
some
take a
tits and some
second,
ass in the
take
chat
a
then. Let's talk
second,
about that. Whatever.
Lemon.
Branch makes a valid
Why don't we
point.
just take a second, make it more of a conversational type of discussion? That way, maybe all of us will get something more out of it.
By all of us, you mean you. Because the other
by all
people
of
in the
us,
chat were carrying on a conversation.
me,
You were not.
myself, and I. I would rather that we talk in a more conversational type of method than this just throwing out bullshit.
Look, Branch, read a book and learn how to think on another level. Frankly,
All
you're
right,
a very shallow thinker. Learn how to think in another way, dude.
It's not just that. I'm a very shallow person. I'm just a thinker. I'm a very shallow person. Only care about myself. That's it.
Hey, did y'all hear? I don't know if Scott's here. I wanted to talk to him that the voter fraud was correct in Minnesota. You see all that coming out, Project Veritas. I don't know if Scott's here, but that's mainly for Scott. But yeah, did y'all? I mean, if he's not here, then wow, this is just Minnesota too.
Big news. Voter fraud.
Ilhan
is
Omar.
real.
Oh God. Yeah.
Ballot harvesting, paying for ballots.
Did you see the
paying-
actual video? It was like someone did an undercover video with like all her like former like campaign people and active, and they were straight up like admitting to it.
Yep, and this is the first video. There is more to come. They said, watch out. 2, 3,
And
maybe
so-
4, 5, 6 parts.
Yeah, it didn't take a rocket
how long
scientist
did they
to figure
spend in
out.
jail?
Yeah, like how did a Somalian get over here and
How long did they spend in
able to
jail?
rise to the top? Huh? It just came
How
out
long did they go
today.
to jail for?
It just came out today.
Project Veritas. So Project Veritas has this video that instead of going to the Justice Department, going to Bill Barr and having these people thrown in jail and having Ilhan Omar stripped of her seat in the House,
Well,
they put a video on YouTube. That's what they chose to do.
Bill Barr is busy.
No, I'm just trying to be
Bill Barr
clear.
is busy.
Is that what they chose to do? Yes.
But that won't happen anyway because she's a Democrat. They're gonna find a way to get her
It-
off anyway.
Is that what they chose to do? Yes or no?
Yes, they're an organization kind of like WikiLeaks.
You're acting like they had an
They put
option
together.
So they had
put together a
incriminating
piece of-
evidence, and they didn't go to
Well-
Justice Department.
Well, wait. I'd like to add that we don't know if they didn't submit this evidence to the FBI, so we don't.
Thank you to it. Thank you to it.
You
I
wanna
think
put
by
some money on
making
it?
it public,
I'd be willing to bet on that one.
I think by making it public, they did the right thing. Like they're letting people know because people are supporting this mail-in voting, and it's like
agree
it's
with
not
you.
going to work.
Another
It doesn't
great
take a
point.
rocket scientist to see that like an organization that loses billions of dollars each year is going to screw this up. Like they can't. The USPS can't even deliver my mail correctly. I'm not trusting them with my vote.
Yeah,
You know why they lost-
either my grandma's a liar or the mailman took my $5 for the birthday cards for. My grandmother said she sent them. She said she sent them in the mail. I confronted the mailman and he said there was nothing in the mail. So either my grandma's lying or the mailman's lying.
Or they lost your thing because they're completely incompetent.
Exactly.
You
So
do
I
know
wouldn't
why
trust
the
them with my
Postal
ballot.
Service is losing money, right?
Couldn't hear you.
Right? You know why the Postal Service is losing money?
Yeah, because Congress passed a law that
because
makes them
they don't
pay.
charge. They don't charge.